Hey everybody, it's Alyssa. Super excited you guys tuned in tonight. We got an awesome episode. We're revealing our 1969 Hemi Road Runner convertible, one of one. So keep watching. It's Graveyard Cars.
In 1968, Plymouth introduced the Road Runner. By 1969, it was their top-selling muscle car of all time, also garnering the Motor Trend Car of the Year award. This turquoise 426 Hemi convertible is the only one in the world made like it. The body and paint is done, the drivetrain's installed. All we have left is a wheel alignment and a systems check. And this car will be back on the road again.
This time on Graveyard Cars, the ghouls are getting ready to reveal their rarest Mopar yet, the 1969 Q5 Turquoise Hemi Road Runner convertible. With the interior, exhaust, and the steering wheel needing to be assembled and installed, it's all hands on deck with Dave, Alyssa, Mark, and even Royal. Also, Mark and Alyssa catch up with Ryan on the Superbird tribute car. But before the owners show up to see their newly restored, one-of-a-kind Hemi Road Runner, Alyssa tries talking her dad into letting her drive it. So, will Mark let his daughter drive a one-of-one convertible worth $500,000? Stay tuned and find out on this episode of Graveyard Cars.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It has been established that the buried dead are coming back to life.
I'm Mark Warman, and together we bring dead muscle cars back to life, to exactly the way they were on the day they were born.
In case you were busy towing your friend's Camaro last week, here's what you've missed. Dave and Alyssa installed the dash in everybody's fabled favorite, the 446-barrel Phantom Cuda. Mark dispatched a dutifully documented Dodge Demon to the Dipper. Then he and Royal took an off-road trip down memory lane. Alyssa and Will surprised Mark for Father's Day with a perfect die-cast reproduction of his first Mopar, a 1970 Dodge Charger in FK5 burnt orange with a white vinyl top. And Mark revealed his top-secret plan to completely build a Cuda in 4 months, what Mark calls Operation Firepower.
The trick is to kind of pre-fit your door panels to make sure you can get everything in there. And I kind of go through and poke all my holes in the moisture barrier at first. This is just a really unique car, you know, one of one. And I wouldn't blame the owner. I'd do it as close to original as I possibly could too. The Road Runner basically was just a go fast, you know, race car type of thing. You know, it was for the low budget, you know, guys that wanted to go out and, you know, have fun in their car. So the base model was just, you know, a 2-door hardtop, or you can get a 2-door post. So no frills, you know, just had some call outs, you know, and some stripes on them and stuff. They sold a ton of the 69 Road Runners. I mean, I forget the base price was like around $2,600, $2,800. Now that I got the driver's side door all buttoned up and finished, I'll go ahead and move over to the passenger side door and start getting the door panel and all the hardware on it as well.
While Dave finishes up the Road Runner's doors, Mark and Alyssa check in with Ryan in the body shop to gauge the progress of the Superbird tribute car and to look at some of the finer points of detail on the Superbird's headlights.
Our Plymouth Superbird tribute car is out in the body shop. It's already been primered one time, blocked, and now it's ready for another primer. With any luck, that'll be the last primer before the car's actually ready to paint. That car's going FJ5, which is the limelight green. I wanted to take a minute just to kind of go over some of the things that make the Superbird as difficult, truly, as it is when it comes to building one from scratch like we did in this case. The nose itself has already been primered. All of the pieces that make it up is something that I wanted to share with Alyssa. This is the completed unit that you would buy if you were gonna buy like a used assembly with all the pieces in it. It's got the actuator on it, it's got the can itself, it's got the end plates. If you look, this is part of the end of the pivot. So it has this plate here with a nylon bushing in it. These are all really nice. If you were just restoring one of these cars, you would take this unit apart. Right, this is the original.
Okay.
You'd detail it, rebuild it, and together as a unit, you'd walk back here and you would basically install that. I mean, it's not perfectly up
Yeah, but I
against
see
it.
what you're saying.
But I'm saying that's one great big unit. What we get from Janik on
So
the aftermarket,
we can't buy that unit anymore.
you would probably pay $2,500 for a headlight, maybe $3,500 just for this
Oh, wow.
headlight bucket,
Okay.
if you could find it. So instead, we bought the kit from Janik. When we bought that kit, it had to be completely assembled. Ryan, if you've got a minute. These were templates, correct?
Yes, it was just a blank sheet that gave you a diagram to cut these out
Okay.
to build these steel plates
So it was a template to make it out of steel.
to make it out of steel. So you can put the actuator on. Now what we have is we have this, simulated this.
Yeah.
And then since this here screws into sheet metal, it'll hold together. But we made a bonding strip.
Because ours is fiberglass. We can't screw into fiberglass.
We made this plate here, which I bonded in, so we have a stud plate for strength
Beautiful.
to hold it in place.
And now you just put your nuts on there and you've got exactly the same amount of strength, if not more, than this one had.
Correct.
It's such a multitude of parts. It's not just an erector set that you're bolting together, but you do have to make modifications to it.
This plate here is made out of fiberglass, which is a very nice piece. But we needed this mount here for the end of this actuator
To clip onto.
which
to drag
pushes
that
it
door
up
up.
and down.
Okay.
Also, this metal plate here holds the springs that adjust the headlights. So we had to fab this here.
Because the kit did not come with this.
No,
Okay, so you would need to make this piece
yes,
and this little bracket in the middle, which is almost identical to the one that the factory had.
yes.
But then the rest of this is the original fiberglass that you just had to cut out.
Just had to cut out all the
There
holes.
were marks here, but you had to cut the actual
wow.
holes
Correct.
themselves. But it's a phenomenal kit. The Janik reproduction is amazing. Everything is there except for just a couple little intricate pieces.
The passenger door's all done, got all the hardware on, door panel, looks fantastic. Now I get to put that really nice piece of bling on there, that beautiful polished sill plate. And they go right in this area here and they just look fantastic. You can see it just totally sets off that color of this car. You know, it's too bad this car doesn't have just a ton of chrome on it. I mean, it's got a lot of stainless around the windshield, but every little piece of chrome we put on this car just really sets it off. I kind of look at it and see, you know, you want a little bit of carpet over your pinch weld there because you want it to set down. I got to back cut this carpet here a little bit, and then I want to cut the carpet so it'll expose where all my screw holes are. Right where this sewn seam is right here on the carpet, it's really thick. So you put that on top of another layer of carpet and it's super thick. And then that sill plate's not gonna sit all the way flush. Whenever you start to screw it down, it's gonna actually put a kink in it on the top. So I kind of put a little relief cut in there and take a little bit of that out. And what that'll do is it'll allow it to sit down a little bit better for me. So this will actually use on the pinch weld, and the other one I'll cut just on the inside of the pinch weld. We're ready to get our scuff plate in here. These use a pan head screw. It's kind of a cool screw. It's a stainless screw. Yeah, we try to replicate the fasteners the best we can. You know, a lot of them, you know, I think aren't perfect. That's why you can never beat the original thing. That looks fantastic. The car's really coming together. It's starting to look like a true muscle car now.
Where'd you get the original headlights?
Those are out of one of our customer cars that we're doing right now, which is
Okay.
great that we have some original examples to go by.
But we're not gonna actually use these on a
No,
vehicle?
these go back to his car. They'll get restored and put back when we do his car.
Oh, okay.
But they were already out and they were already on the shelf, so I'm using them as a template, which is great because
Yeah.
there's a lot of pieces that make this crazy thing up.
The amount of work that Ryan put in to fabricate is where I would get lost at. I mean, it's a lot easier to sit there with the original one and be able to put it together because you do have that to reference, which is a
You
huge
can kind
amount
of
of
see
help.
how it came apart and it goes right back together.
Exactly.
This stuff was all sort of new.
So this is all bolted together like this in the car, and see, then it pivots. And
Just like the factory one does.
this piece here, which I have the kit headlight doors.
So that's a
Okay.
duplicate of what we've got
So
there.
this is a duplicate, and it will pivot.
And then he's going to be able to close that door
Close
like
it down.
that.
That's awesome.
And that ends him up with what we have
Essentially
here.
there. Yeah.
There's such a learning process, like with any of this stuff, and no two cars are the same, so expect the unexpected.
Ryan, would you say this is the most complicated part of making a Road Runner into a Superbird?
It's one of them. It's been a good journey. It's a learning experience. It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest puzzle. Like the wing, it goes on kind of, it's basically a big part.
Yes.
The nose cone, we kind of get it. The
This
hood
is
modification,
the
but this is
part
pretty big.
to have to make function and withstand usage.
So this will go on to that. This will be a complete headlight unit. He's already got the vacuum pods that go on the back of it, and that's what goes into making just one headlight function on one of these cars. But it's right in the spirit of the factory one, just a little bit better in some ways.
What more could you ask for?
It was fairly crude from the factory. It's fairly crude now. We just kind of, I think, expounded on that a little bit, made it just a little bit better.
I think we probably put more thought process into restoring the cars than they did probably originally on some of these smaller things,
Oh, it
like
has
the
to.
headlights.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So basically, you've got this thing apart right now so that Will can do the primering on all the pieces.
Correct.
Get them painted, get the nose back together again, and then the nose goes on as one unit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I might feel more comfortable about building one in the future than I was when this project started. All right. So that's where we're at on that. Got it? Simple.
Yeah.
Clear as mud.
Okay.
All right. Good job. So with all the pieces done, Will needs to do his primer work on them. Once the primer work's done, he can paint them. Meanwhile, the car will get its final block. It can come in here, get torn apart, and we'll start painting some FJ5. Hang on. Okay, here you go. If you think you have a solution to the problem, you're part of the problem. No, serious, man. That's funny stuff. It doesn't matter if it's dark. It's not. Hang on. I got somebody else calling in. I'm gonna introduce you to Click and Buzz. Have you met them yet? Click, Buzz. Well, they don't like my
Who was that?
There's a paper out of Florida was doing an article because the new season's coming out. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyways,
This is
borrow your
great.
stuff.
Awesome possum. All right.
What's going on?
Any shorter shorts available, or is that it?
Oh no. I wish.
'Cause if you, yeah.
These
'cause
are
if-
actually big on me, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah. If you get something that just covered the sphincter, that would be great.
I could come by in a thong tomorrow if you prefer.
No, I
No?
prefer you
So
wear
probably
pants like
should-
every
you
other
should-
girl on
probably
every other
shouldn't
television
complain about
show
what I come in with.
history. But you know
I'm
what?
25 years
Whatever.
old, Dad.
It worked for
I think I know
Daisy
how to
Duke.
dress myself. It
It
did
worked for
really
Daisy
well.
Duke for really well. Yeah. Yeah. She's like she didn't have a butt.
You really want to go at it today, don't you? Anyways, I've noticed you're really busy. I'm
no,
here.
I'm
What
going-
can I do to help you? I'm here to help you.
Oh, I believe you're
me,
here to
right?
help me. Yeah, I believe you're here to help me, Colonel Jessup. Yes. There are 82 cars out back that all need to be gone over.
Okay, well, hold on before you go there. We have the Road Runner. People coming up to pick up the Road Runner tomorrow. So I'm sure that's like top of the list on what we need to get
Well,
done.
we
We
should
need to
be out
test
of the
drive
woods
it.
on. Yeah. I need to
Dave's
go on a road
busy.
test.
Will's busy.
I wouldn't trust
So I
any
can
of those
help you
guys to
out, and
road
I could
test
take it on a test drive if you would like.
What are you talking about?
What do you think?
RM27J9G? One of
What does that
one
mean? That means
1969
nothing
Hemi
to me.
Road Runner convertibles in seafoam turquoise with an automatic transmission, a $500,000 car. You would like to take it out on its maiden voyage?
I'm here to help you.
Well, driving the car is no
That's the
choice.
only-
That's not a choice. That's not a choice, Nadine. Nice. Ever since you did, you look
want
like
me to be
Nadine.
crazy.
You look like
I'll do
Nadine
it.
from
I'll
The
let you do
Stand after she had sex with the devil. Remember? Her hair turned
No, I
white and
don't.
gray like that. How do you
issues,
like your
Dad.
steak? Just walk it through a warm room, she says to him.
I can't do it.
He's a righteous man, baby. Nadine, Mother Abigail says, mayhap you is, mayhap you ain't. You know? Dave brought me over. He's got the system now, the exhaust system from Accurate Exhaust for our 69 Hemi Road Runner. This is a replica of the original exhaust. Originally, they were mild steel. This system is mild steel. The owner of this car doesn't want any fancy schmancy late model weird stuff. He wants it to look, function, and appear as it did in 1969.
Yeah, the Accurate Exhaust does a great job, you know, with these systems. They're all their welds and everything's spot on. All the bends are spot on. All right, yeah.
So first thing we're gonna do is always build the exhaust from the front back.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put the H-pipe on. And these are always tricky because of the torsion bars, am I right?
Yeah, they're tough ones. So I'll kind of help you support the back here. You kind of tell me up, down,
I'm gonna move that bottom bolt out a little. There we go.
Okay.
Boy, my chubby little hands hardly fit in here, you know what?
Oh, it's tight in there.
It is
between
tight.
that torsion bar.
Good grief.
If I had the exhaust from the get-go, I would have put it on before the torsion bars. Would have been great.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that have been
Yeah.
nice? Yeah. Okay, you're
Back
really...
in the day, it's right there, huh?
Yep, there it goes.
Oh, get her?
Good job.
Nice.
So right now we've got the H-pipe installed, which is always a little bit harder over on that right side with the heat riser, but it's in place. Something to point out, this is the original mild steel that they're made out of, all right, from the factory. It's not the late model stainless stuff, it's not the aluminized. This is the original type of material that this exhaust was built out of. So it will rust a lot quicker than aluminized or stainless, but it's what the owner wanted. He wanted it to look, appear, and function, sound exactly the way it did in '69. So that's what you see sitting here. Tom down at Accurate, he builds every one of these, breaks every one himself, bends every one, welds every one. Right now we got our H-pipe on, which is the main pipe that bolts to the manifolds. We have the mufflers on and they're just kind of mocked into place. So now we're getting ready to put the over the axle pipes on and the resonators and tips. Oh, look at that bad boy just slide right on there.
Nice.
Niz nice. I call it niz nice.
It's nice.
Niz nice.
All
Had
right.
a little much coffee this morning, getting kind of crazy out here. Like to have a little fun.
All right, coffee is good.
And now we've got everything mocked into place, every single piece. We're gonna go to the front of the car, we're gonna start at the head pipe, we're gonna start bolting it down, and we'll watch our clearances, tolerances, make sure we don't have anything too close to the floor of the car, work our way back to the tips, and it'll be ready to fire up.
Oh, the exhaust went fantastic. Accurate does such a fine job, you know, of bending all the pipes. I mean, everything just falls into place.
So it looks like you got everything all detailed out. Looks great.
Thank you.
So where do we start though? It's quite a lot going on.
I know, there's so much going on in this thing, but I always
Okay.
start with the tube. This is what we're gonna start with. This is like the outer shell of the column. But I start with that. It's easy to build it on this because then you can slide things into it and out of it. But this here is the main shafts. This is where your steering wheel goes. Is the outer tube. And this one goes inside of there like that, down like that.
Does it matter what end? Can you tell?
Yeah, it's definitely got to go this way. This right here has a provision in it to accept this little bearing thing. So we got to spin this way. As you can see, this is our column thing. This will slide right in there like that.
Okay.
So now we got like our lower part done. We won't worry about doing the coupler and all that until we're complete. Now we're gonna move to the actual column. The actual column has a couple different pieces in it. This is our lower piece. This will go on first. And this will actually support this handle that'll go in there.
Okay.
So we'll grease this, put that in, get the actual column in, and then start building out that lower part.
Okay. Get to the fun stuff.
Exactly.
So I've been working on the 70 Road Runner, and I'm at a point where it's time to get Mark to sign off on some things. I'm about ready to put the trunk floor in and just check over the things that I've been doing on it.
This is a car that came in fairly decent shape. It was painted, looked good at a glance, but the owner was kind of a fanatic and it reminded him of his original car that he had, so he really wanted this one dialed into perfection. So you got your sections in.
Yep.
Are they the same length section on both sides?
Yep.
Good.
And I metal finished them so you can't see where I spliced in.
Yeah, don't. No, it looks very nice on the outside. No, I mean, you did good, Bai. You did good. That looks good, buddy.
I like Mark to sign off on things because it's really crucial to have everything exact. And if he signs off on it, then I know I'm good to go. And there's less chance of a mistake.
All right, Pockets, let's go.
Pockets, that's your name.
Pockets ain't my name. Pockets is your name. All right.
All right, so yeah, we got our bottom of our column in there. And as you
Okay.
can see, whenever this, shifts, that's like your gear selector.
And then this is hooked on to the transmission.
Exactly, yep. Then we just got to keep building out our little column. So now we got to get this part right here on there. So we got this built, I got some grease in there. So when we go in there, we got to fit this column set up in there. So there's all kinds of junk going in here at the same time.
Yeah, I gotta get it just right.
Yeah,
So is this the last component before you can put on the steering wheel?
yeah, we're getting pretty close. Got our clip in there for our turn signal wiring. Here's our turn signal right here. We got the handle on there. You can kind of see how that operates. Then of course our column shift. When it's into park, it's locked, which is cool. You don't have to worry about popping out of gear, and every other gear will just kind of rotate through. Got our little selector in there that tells it what it's doing when it goes into the different gears, which is neat, and it looks awesome. The paint looks great, looks amazing.
Okay, so we put the light in there. So when you have your headlights on, does this click on automatically as well?
Exactly,
Okay.
it'll light up this area in there so you can kind of see what gear you're in.
That's cool.
Which is really neat.
I like all
yeah.
this little detailed.
Yeah, if you want to grab the steering wheel, we can put that on. And what I'll do is I'll hold this end here so you can kind of feel what it'll go on. Okay, you got her? Start wiggling it on. Perfect.
Okay.
So you got it. That's
Is it
it.
going any further?
Oh, it'll go on further once we run the bolt and stuff on there.
Oh, okay.
So we'll go ahead and grab our washer in that lock nut. Yep, that'll go on there like so.
Okay, so we got the steering wheel on. What's
Yep.
next?
Yeah, you got the steering wheel on. I put on the little horn mechanism. And the way that there kind of works is whenever you operate your horn, it'll move this in and you can see those little metal tabs touching together. When those tabs touch together, it grounds out and sets off your horn. Now that we got that bracket on there, here's the next piece that's got to go on there. So we'll tighten all these down and then we can put our horn button on there, which is really cool. So we got our horn button on there. So that's how that operates. You can kind of see how that wiggles around and operates our horn. So now the best part of the whole deal is putting that little Road Runner medallion in there.
Are we ready for that yet?
Yeah, we're ready for it. So yeah, if you want to grab it, that can go in there, and there's a little notch in there, so it only goes in one way. Yep, once that goes in there, and then you just got to kind of push the whole thing in a circular motion. There you go.
All right.
Now here's a little bit of trivia for you, Georgie.
All right.
Georgie boy. I know you don't know all the numbers and stuff like you should by now, but neither does Alyssa. They made a little over 20,000 two-door hardtop 383 Road Runners in 1970. The standard transmission that came behind the 383 was a 3-speed manual transmission.
Okay.
Now, out of that 20,000 plus, only 584 of them actually left the assembly line with the 3-speed transmission. Meaning that when people bought the Road Runners or when they ordered them, standard was the 3-speed manual transmission. But out of 20,000 plus, only 584 still have the 3-speed. People were optioning for the 4-speed pistol grip shifter because it was the coolest shifter on the planet, and the automatic transmission. Very few people wanted the 3-speed. This is one of the 584 3-speed cars.
Wow.
That's kind of one of those trick things that, well, you think in your mind, well, that's really, really rare. Well, it is rare from a production value standpoint, how many they made, but it doesn't make it any more valuable. It probably decreases the value. Most people today are just like they were in 1970. They would rather have a 383 4-speed or a 383 automatic than a 383 3-speed. This car came to the owner that we're doing it for already being converted to a 4-speed. So we sent that out to Brewers, having that 4-speed rebuilt, and it's back now over with the drivetrain, which is also, by the way, almost done. So as soon as they're done in body here, we'll reunite all that and put it in. But this car will be on the road with a 4-speed pistol grip shifter. Want a screw?
No, thank you on the wanting.
Just trying to appease to your bi-curious nature. The car got packed full of a lot of plastic filler and appeared a lot better than it really was. If you look at it, by the time we're done, we're replacing almost every piece of sheet metal on the back half of the car, front rails and front fenders. So thank God, again, we got Auto Metal Direct to be able to pick up the phone and call and order this stuff, because if we couldn't do this, we'd be knocking a 70 Road Runner two-door hardtop or two-door post in the head, taking it away, or a satellite, or sport satellite. We'd be taking a good, valuable, nice, potential car off the road to make this one whole again. Otherwise, that looks good, Georgie. 70 Road Runner, 383. What transmission?
3-speed.
3-speed manual. How many did they build in the two-door hardtop?
It came optional, what was it? I want to say 2,000 something, only
20,000
something.
70 Road Runner,
only
383s.
500 and some rolled off the assembly line with the 3-speed in it.
So you listened to a little of it.
Yeah.
Over 20,000 cars were built, 383 two-door hardtops. Out of that over 20,000, only 584 had a 3-speed manual transmission.
584.
584.
All right.
So, try that. Huh? Oh, I thought you
Oh, no.
said something. What I'm doing today is I brought out a couple of challengers here in the graveyard that, interestingly enough, a lot of the times I'll get emails from people questioning, you know, what's the difference between a 70 and a 71 Challenger. Now, most Mopar, diehard Mopar guys do know that answer, but a lot of folks don't know the answers. They'll send pictures, check out my dad's old 71 Challenger, when in fact it was a 1970 Challenger. So I thought it'd be kind of cool, since we happen to have two of them that are really, really similar cars, but showing the obvious difference between the 70 and 71. I thought it'd be a great time to just come out here and go over it. 1970, good looking car. This is a purple car, it's black interior. This one is an RT. Our 71 is also an RT. In 1970, they made 53,000 and some change. I don't remember, 53,300 total Challengers. Over in 71, they made less than half of that. They only made 23,000 and some change. So the real question is, why did they make so few of the 71 versus the 70? Take a look at the front of these cars. Look at the grille work. Now, this one, I was told, the inspiration behind this grille came from the designer who flipped a rock into a pond, and as the ripples went out, he thought, how cool would it be to do something like that in a grille? And that's what he did. You see these step-ups as it goes back into the actual grille opening itself, and this tunnel type shape to it. This is a new style and a new look, and that ripple effect look going into it, again, was just state of the art. That was absolutely groundbreaking, coming off of, again, the 60s, where everything was kind of a flush mount, ugly in your face grille. And then you get into this kind of a hard to explain look. Now, today's Dodges, they sport the crosshair. That's their famous look. Is if you look at the grille, it looks like the crosshairs of a rifle. This looks like an early version of it that just needed one of them going up and down like that, and you would have had that crosshair look. It got away from the recess, it brought it back out again. Again, the grille's black, which it should be on an RT. You look at the two bumpers, they're the same. And the lower valances are the same.
Come through here. I don't know which way it's got to go.
Oh,
There we go. How's that?
Yep.
We got our steering column in there. Does it look good up there, Royal? And
Yeah, let's get up here.
column in there and everything. So cool. It looks awesome.
So when it comes to the interiors of the 70 and the 71, literally, there's not much difference between them. The instrumentation is the same, which is that cool cockpit style, 150 mile an hour speedometer, 8,000 RPM tach, all four of your functional gauges, and a clock over on the right-hand side. Same steering wheel used in 70 and 71. There were optional wheels, but the basic standard wheel was the same. One note is if you had a 72 on up, they dropped the RPM from 8,000 tach down to a 7,000 RPM tach. The rest of the interior, like I say, for the most part, other than seat patterns, are slightly different in 71. The seat backs are different in 1971 versus 1970. This is what you call the two-piece seat back. It uses a long button on the side, a piece of pot metal type of outer hinge cover, then the one-piece clamshell back, where the 71 is all one piece with just a button to push it. Door panels are the same, the rest the same, floors are the same, headliners the same, visors are the same, rear view mirrors even the same. So not a lot to report. This car is kind of cool. It's optioned with the 6-way seat, but I do believe the 6-way seat was also available in 71 optional on the car. This one over here doesn't have that. Okay, so over here on our 71, it's the same basic interior as I said our 70 has. We got our real cool cockpit style instrumentation, 150 speedometer, 8 grand tach, full gauges, have our clock over there. The switch panel's the same. Basically everything is the same. The dash pad changed in 71 and uses the Challenger replaceable with Barracuda, because it's the same applique over there. So 70, a Challenger has its own dash pad. 70, a Barracuda has its own dash pad. But in 71, because they were basically shaped the same, they decided to streamline things and just make that little label over there replaceable, whether it would be for a Barracuda or a Challenger. You know, there may be a multitude of reasons why the 70 outsold the 71. I tend to think, it's my opinion, it was the introductory year, and that's a big year. That's as with anything. A lot of people ran down, 53,300 and some people went down and bought that car in some version, be it a convertible, be it an RT, be it a TA, be it a Deputy, be it just a standard car, RT SC with the formal back roof. But 53,000 people in the market bought that car. The next year, just less than 12 months later, this one comes out. Not quite as sexy. They don't add anything. They're taking away some stuff for 1971, like the 375 horsepower 440 Magnum. So all things being equal, that's my opinion as to why they only made half of them. It could just be the fact that the muscle car was declining. It was declining hard and fast. The insurance rates were out of sight. Gas had doubled or tripled with the embargo. Maybe that was the reason they didn't sell. Okay.
Where have you been?
Dude's been walking out here. Dude has a lot more responsibility than you can imagine. Roll the windows down, turn the key on, the power windows, roll all the windows down, unclasp the convertible top, and then drop it all the way down till it's seated, and then we'll be ready to go. You're doing a good job. Hold your foot down. What in the name of are you doing? Get out.
No, okay, tell me how to do it.
It's a $500,000 car. No, I can't tell you.
Tell me how to do it. Not one step at a
how.
time. I can handle all the steps at once.
I don't believe you can. Please let me in there so I can start it. Thank you. Okay. First thing to find out in a Chrysler is to crank it over and see if it wants to start, having knowledge whether the car's cold or warm. Now,
and you had to tell me this while you were
warm. So you shouldn't even need to touch the accelerator. When you touch that accelerator, you flooded it. This is not a fuel injected car. So let's just try cranking it and seeing if it starts with no gas at all.
That was a setup. Are you kidding me?
Just say it is.
It was only warmed up because I tried to start
Okay,
it.
it is.
You told me to put my foot on the gas.
After you pumped the out of it and flooded the poor piece of crap. There's dual floor carburetors. You can't just stomp that gas pedal.
Succeed.
Nadine!
Oh my God.
Would you agree that the Road Runner is ready for its maiden voyage on the open road?
It is. We're ready to go. I'm ready more than ever. Let's do this.
Give me a one thumbs up. 3, give me the 4th. There you go.
Take a look at those thumbs.
Phenomenal car. I mean, what a driver. And you haven't got a chance to be out in these things, but some of the cars that I've driven on the initial run don't work out so well because they're cars. There's 1,000 pieces that can go wrong. But honestly, this car just smooth as glass, no problems, drove like a dream. Temperature gauge worked, fuel gauge works, all the instrumentation. It's just phenomenal. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, another one bite the dust.
Are we
Hey,
done?
I want to get to you. Another one
Stop
bite
it,
the dust.
What is
Another
that?
one bite the dusty. That's what he says. Bite the dusty. Bite the dust. Bite the dusty. It's a Queen. It's from back in the 70s. I grew up on it. It doesn't matter. Okay, the car's done. It's no fun.
Hey,
What's happening?
the owners for the Road Runner are here. So we're getting ready to do the reveal. Do you want to help me grab the guys out here, and I'll run and grab the guys up front?
I'll get them ready for you.
So I'll meet you guys up front.
All right, I'll be up there in
Sounds
5
good.
minutes.
4.
Four? 3. Okay, I'm
Sounds
going
good.
now.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
Getting ready to do the reveal for the Road Runner. Do you want to come out front with me? We can wait for him.
Oh, heck yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, always excited for a reveal. I mean, it's so cool to meet the owner and actually see their their expression on their face when they finally see the cars.
I mean, this is what we work for. This is the big payoff for us. So this, of course, is the best days. I helped out with the air grabber and some of the interior, as well as putting on the decals. So I'm really gonna miss this car. This was one of my favorites. I think I've said that about all of the ones I've helped on because you kind of grow fond of it once you spend enough time. But this one's definitely my favorite. It's convertible. It's a beautiful turquoise color with the red accents. Has the Road Runner on it. I mean, I just love it. It's gonna be hard to see it, but it's also gonna be really cool to see the reaction of Daryl. Hi guys.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Well,
Good, how are you?
Pretty
Name's
good.
Alyssa.
I'm Daryl Smith, and my 69 Hemi Road Runner convertible is just finished restoration, and I'm coming to pick it up.
Nice to meet
How you doing, Daryl?
Hey, how are you?
Good to see ya.
So it was awesome to bring all the guys from the paint and body shop out front on this reveal because they're really the guys that do a lot of the work, so it kind of helps keep them going
group effort.
when they get a thank you. That goes a long ways. He was never a big fan of
No, I ain't team.
He was never a big fan of the whole crew coming out for reveals. I'm
Did
a
you see
huge
the old crew?
So where's my car, Mike?
Where is your car?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know where my dad's at. Do you know where he's at?
No, he's always
No one knows.
Yeah, always fashionably late. So we're waiting on Mark.
Like always.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time I saw it was probably 6 months ago. It was pretty much painted, but it still hadn't been assembled yet. The engine and trans weren't in yet, none of the interior, no drivetrain at all. Just a body with nice looking paint.
Right.
None of you know where it is?
They just told us to come out front for the reveal.
Oh, I hear it.
Oh, you can hear it now. Oh, look at that. There it is. Look at that thing. Yeah, the car comes down the road. Sounds amazing. I mean, you can see Daryl start to perk up when he hears it coming. I mean, nothing like the sound of a Hemi through that dual exhaust, from Accurate. I mean, it sounds awesome. And wow, that's beautiful, huh? Amazing. Look at that.
The color's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's just incredible. The color just lightens up tremendously, and it just looks awesome. Hey, get out of the car, my turn.
Come on, man. I get to drive it once in a while. I did all the work on
Dang.
it.
Look at this color.
Is that a gorgeous
This
color?
car
or
looks
what?
awesome out here,
Hello,
man.
brother.
Hey.
Woo! How'd you like the sound of
The
that?
sun. Yeah, I heard that.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm doing good.
By the way, I didn't approve that. What you just did.
I never went over 2,000 RPM, and our original contract said that. So,
Hey,
Big
that is
Daryl,
beautiful.
car, 69 Hemi Road
that
Runner
is
convertible.
beautiful.
What'd you do cam-wise on that? Because I guess I'm not familiar with that.
It's
You
a
guys-
stock 70 hydraulic cam
for a hydraulic Hemi, for a normal Hemi.
for a Hemi, yeah.
It's got such a nice bump to it, and it's so
perfect.
responsive. Yeah.
And hopefully I never have to take the valve covers off to adjust the
I
valves.
hope you never have to do that.
They're not easy.
They're not easy. It's not easy to even get them off, let alone once they're off.
This car is awesome.
It really is pretty.
It's a nice color.
A no excuse car. It's amazing to me how something like this has survived so long. And I will say, in fairness to the car, I've driven the car.
Yeah, I was going to check the rear tires to see the wear on
There's
them.
still plenty of tire.
Okay.
It's the second set.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What are you doing? Huh? Judas? No, we didn't
Had a
smoke the
feeling.
first set of tires off. But it just drives so nice. And I attribute it to the guys that did a great job on the car, but also the fact that I think it started life as a good car.
It was taken care of since about 76 on.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you, because I know you know your numbers probably as good as I do, especially on cars like this. How many did they make total Hemi automatics?
6.
6 total
US
Hemi automatics.
production.
U.S. production.
Yeah.
None of them went to Canada. Were the 4-speeds the Canadians?
There was 3 Canadian cars, but there was only 10 U.S. production cars.
And of those, how many are painted Q5 Seafoam turquoise?
That one right there.
Only car in the world,
Only
folks.
one, yeah.
Only car in the world.
Just in case you fell asleep in the commercials or took an extended bathroom break, here's what happened. Dave knocked out the remaining interior on the Road Runner convertible. He and Mark installed the factory-replicated mild steel exhaust. Then Dave teamed up with Alyssa and Royal to build out and install the steering wheel. Mark checked in with Ryan on the Superbird Tribute headlights and George on the 1970 Road Runner's metalwork. But hey, don't forget Will. He touched up the paint and buffed the Hemi Road Runner. Plus, he told all the body shop guys to meet him out front. That may not seem like a lot, but, well, okay. Maybe he had a busy week. Finally, Daryl Smith showed up to see his newly restored, one-of-a-kind 1969 Hemi Road Runner convertible in the very rare Q5 turquoise. But the big question is, will Alyssa get to drive it? Come on, it's a $500,000 car. What do you think?
And, yeah, I was going to say, and a quarter.
Well, you got to add something when you're down to 5.9. What do you think, Mom and Dad? Is that looking good?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Like a brand new car. Probably better than it did when they were new. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Meet me.
Well, it's the first time I've driven it for about 4 years, and the car handles incredible. Braking was good, cornering was good, and performance is excellent. And the car looks really sharp. My wife was thrilled when I got on it. She thought it was one of the greatest running cars she's ever been in. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Well, the last time I drove it, it felt pretty loose, and it had a tendency to wander around in the lane. And now it feels real tight. There's no softness to it. It rides good, it corners good. It's just really nice. It's right on.
My friend,
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate all your patience. I know we took a little longer, but I hope in the end you're happy, happy, happy.
Happy, yeah.
Thank
I
you,
am.
sweetheart. It's nice to
Okay.
see you.
Nice to see you.
And thank you for coming
love
up,
that
honey.
place.
It was nice to see you again. Car's beautiful. Owner's having a ball. The car runs and drives and tracks. He lets go of the steering wheel, and it's just tracking down the road great. Royal did a phenomenal job on the alignment. Brakes feel great. Dave's assembly is amazing.
Cool.
So be careful, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks with a beautiful car.
All right.
Bye.
Travel
See you
safe.
later. Take care. Drive safe.
Okay.
Back to work.
Ooh, that's mine.